Hello Boston Bruins fans, welcome to the Bruins News Channel. Here you get the latest first-hand Boston news. Boston seem to have their business priorities in order, and a lot of it is about adding depth to a roster that has been great all season. With that in mind, the Bees are looking for depth on both offense and defense and are reportedly one of the very interested teams in St. Louis. The Bruins are entering the 2023 NHL trade deadline with a record of August 5, 40, and at the top of the NHL standings. As a result of this, they have Stanley Cup aspirations and should be big buyers by the deadline. Going into the 2022 NHL entry draft in Montreal, there was a need that Boston Bruins general manager, GM, Don Sweeney needed to fill, and that was to add core depth to his prospect pool. Boston is a professional ice hockey team based in Boston, Massachusetts, and one of the original 6 teams in the National Hockey League, NHL. The Bruins beat the Stars 3-2 in overtime on Tuesday and continue to look for a defender in NHL commercial market. That's the latest news from the Bruins, who didn't make it easy on themselves, but found a way to win on Tuesday night. David Pasternak's only goal, with 1:16 remaining in overtime, propelled the Boston Bruins to a 3-2 victory over the host Dallas Stars in an NHL Conference Leaders match. According to Sportsnet's NHL insider Elliot Friedman, the Boston Bruins are finalists in the NHL trade draw for Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Vladislav Gavrikov, who throughout his 7-year career in the NHL, Barbashev fit the mold of a scrappy, straight-line skater with a bottom-6 finish. Brighton, Massachusetts, Boston Bruins coach Jim Montgomery insisted repeatedly on Monday that the Bees would have won last weekend's game against the Washington Capitals if it had been played a month ago. Even if the Boston Bruins aren't able to get that big, physical left fielder they're looking for by the NHL trade deadline of March 3, they could still acquire one later in the season. The Providence Bruins are in first place in the Atlantic Division, while Maine is closing in on home in the first round. On a weekend the Boston Bruins uncharacteristically slumped at home. The team's 2 minor league affiliates scored a perfect weekend with a combined 4-0 to help improve their playoff placement. Why hasn't Arizona Coyotes defenseman Jacob Chychrun been moved to the commercial NHL market yet? Where could Chicago Blackhawks forward Patrick Kane be traded? Leave your like, because it is very important not to miss the latest news, which we will post here. Thank you. A Bruins D-core with Charlie McAvoy, Hampus Lindholm and Jacob Chychrun would be the best in the league. After their NHL All-Star halftime comeback ended in defeat, the Boston Bruins now have a chance to restart on the road this week. The NHL's top team kicks off its first of 2 trips in February outside their time zone with a visit on Tuesday to the Dallas Stars, who hold a 2-point lead at the top of the Western Conference standings. One of the names floating around in trade speculation for weeks is Vancouver Canucks defenseman Luke Schenn. While the perfection line has fueled much of Boston's success in recent years, the emergence of the Czech line has been a boon for the club in 2022-23 and has changed prospects for this season and potentially beyond. A former NHL forward is on the open market again as Peter Cehlarik terminates his contract with Swiss National League side EV Zug. With the All-Star break now upon us, the trade deadline looms and is just over a month away. Hey Bruins fan, in your opinion, what do you think is missing to improve the Boston team even more? Put your opinion in the comments, because your opinion is very important for the Bruins. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, because at any time I bring updated news exclusively.